sunsets and skies so blue. Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know it all. Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves. He explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call. Shining light on. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Good morning to all the Neanderthals, the canines, and the right-wing podcasters. Welcome back to Night Owl's program. This is Chris, live in central Pennsylvania. Once again, it is the evening of the 18th of May, 2025. Already morning in South Africa and points further to the east. Congratulations to you. I'm calling from the past, and how are you doing in the future? Welcome, everybody, and surprise, surprise. We've just hit triple digits, and those who lined up for the program, thank you. Army 375 is back, cutting the grass. Yeah, I don't feel well enough to do that. Julie, welcome to you. And then Buck and Terry, Chris. I think most people will make up their mind after Wednesday between Trump and Rami Kami. We'll see. Stella 4, welcome back to you. Is it night owls or early birds? Well, it's night owls for me, and it's night owls for people further to the west of me in the United States. Army 3275 hit the rack already. Sorry to hear that. Ernst, Inkwell Odyssey, Alfonso Ferreira, Rebecca, Xavier Grayling, welcome back to you. Janet Liddy in South Carolina. Jeremy, it's been a while since I've been able to chat this time. Johanna Gillespie, welcome to you. Julie Russells, wonder what misinformation. Yeah, well, they've already got some. I'll talk about it. Hardy morning, evening, love you people. May this week see your expectations. Good morning, everyone. It's 10:45 here. Just stopping in to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Julie. All right, and then who else we got here? Mandy van Rooyen. Lynette Orr is back. Jeremy in from Indonesia. Chris Ehlers is here. Road Captain. Kev41. Utapi also streamed with Thea last evening. Thank you for that. We've got 40+ thousand people to watch that when it was live. Morsh Snayman, welcome to you. Ellen Bartman. Chess Pains and Skater. Carlos Freight is back. Welcome, Carlos. Dan Bailey in from Wyoming. Dan, how's it going? Finished teaching my students Alaska, going to bed. Okay, Elna Ayers, interesting. And Jean Punt, welcome to you all. Thank you for coming back, folks. It's been an epic time here, very busy, as you can imagine, with all that's going on. What a day. I started off my Sunday working early in the morning, making a video, which eventually I published. It hit 50-some thousand before the day was over, explaining what's going on with the refugee program, dispelling a bunch of lies, rumors, and myths that are out there from the hate-wanking Afrikaners who are trying to leave their fellow man in misery, caring very little for the safety and welfare of fellow Afrikaners. They're a disgrace to their culture. And also the media and politicians doing the same thing. Then I did an interview on Biz News, which should be appearing sometime very soon with Chris Sten. After that, I did my news program, then an interview of Thea. After my interview of Thea van Staden, then I was interviewed by Outlaw Radio. After my interview with Outlaw Radio, later in the evening, I did another interview with a refugee couple in the United States who wish to remain anonymous. That will be publicly released at 7 a.m. South African time in about an hour and 18 minutes or something like that. So another video coming out from refugees. You will not see their faces. You will see a pseudonym used for their Zoom. And you will also see that I've given them artificial names. I've named them Jan and Mariki. Those are not their real names, in order to protect them from the cascade of fake legacy media who are harming them or seeking to harm them. Anyway, that's what's going on. Momo, welcome to. Vilma Rasmus, welcome back. There's an OG. Vilma, Boiling Frog, Wesley, DS Gaming, Henny Pretorius, Amanda Brown, Thrilled the refugee is doing well. It's great to hear from Thea. Well, you'll hear from more Amanda here just shortly when the other interview is available in about an hour and 17 minutes, if you want to catch that. So we're not going to go long tonight. I'm not well, still recovering or still dealing with this crud that I caught the second version of the crud. And so trying to fight through it. It's bad chest. The last one, I didn't cough this much. I had sniffles and runny nose and congestion. This time it's not that. This time it's a chest cold, and that's not good. So Hima Bakris says, bless the Sightlanders. All right. So welcome to everybody. It's, gosh, I'm getting a bit of a headache now from that cough. Anyway, what's going on over here? All right. Sorry. Tees Haynes, welcome to. Sorry about that. That was a message I had to take. Very important message I had to take there very quickly regarding the election coming up. So, all right. I've got news to talk about tonight, even though it's not the news program. I'm also here to answer questions as best I can. And welcome. Finally, regular viewing. Good morning. Well, it's not regular, Gordon. I only started this recently, this 11:30 at night nonsense for me. It's not ideal for me. I'd much rather be getting rest right now and sleeping. And again, this is fifth time I broadcast today. So that's right. South African Farm Girl Stormers. You've got it right there. There you go. On the shoulders of giants, the Stormers. All right. Yep. Nice little hoodie I picked up at the stadium. Unfortunately, this is printed, so it won't last very long. It's not embroidered, but hey, whatever. Why are you wearing that wannabe Bulls jersey? There's no wannabe involved here. 3 of the 4 South African teams are the top 4 and will host 2 will host quarterfinals. Beatrice Brendan says, good morning. Thank you for all your help for South Africa. You're very welcome, Beatrice. Andre Clausen, welcome to you. Okay, let me get to some of the news here, folks, and you can interject and ask questions as we go along. This is a little different than the news program, but I'm going to talk about some news I've looked up here. The United States Treasury has just run its second largest surplus in history, this one under Donald Trump. Wow. We were told the economy is faltering, the economy is failing. They just downgraded our credit, not because of Trump, but because of decades of misuse of the federal budget. And look at this, looky here. On the heels of Moody's lying about America and downgrading our credit to discredit Donald Trump when they failed to do under Joe Biden for 4 years when he set record deficits. But look at this. The Treasury shocked Americans with a $258 billion surplus, its second biggest monthly surplus in the history of the United States. Budget deficits are something we've come to expect from Uncle Sam. After all, without years of overspending, the federal government wouldn't be sitting on trillions of dollars of debt. But the latest monthly Treasury statement delivered a rare and welcome surprise. In April of 2025, the U.S. government collected $850.2 billion in receipts, while spending just $591.8 billion, resulting in a monthly budget surplus of $258.4 billion. That's not just any surplus. It's the first monthly surplus of fiscal 2025 and the second largest monthly surplus in U.S. history, behind only April 2022's $308 billion. So, there you go. According to the Treasury Department, the surplus was driven by large individual tax deposits, with April being the due date for final payment of prior year taxes. Individual income tax alone brought in $537 billion, the biggest contributor to government revenue. Social insurance and retirement receipts followed $184 billion, while corporate income tax added $94 billion. Custom duties, a reflection of Trump's tariffs, generated $15.6 billion, more than double the $6.3 billion collected during the same period last year. So tariff revenue has gone from $6.3 to $15.6 billion. So Trump's tariffs beginning to take effect. Simon Roach from Sightlanders said 2017 Trump offered flight for Afrikaners. Apparently Sightlanders rejected it. Yeah, I don't know where Simon Roach gets his information from, but that's nonsense to my knowledge. I've never heard of such a thing. Is he claiming some secret channel, back channel to Trump? Why would the Sightlanders reject that? Who are they to reject that? Let's be very clear, the Sightlanders are not the Sightlanders Civil Defense Group. What's your take on opinion of Trump accepting the plane for gunners? People seem to be losing their minds. I really don't give a flying flip. Who cares if Trump accepts a plane from Qatar on behalf of the United States? Doesn't bother me. I'm taking something for it, but it's not helping. Rhodesian, South Africa, living in Mexico. Love your show. Please say cock brought more. L. Angeline Fisher. Whereabouts in Rhodesia are you from, L? Where did you grow up at? I don't know what Simon Roach is talking about. Because Simon was a guest on my program a few years back. Shawnee Grows, welcome from Minnesota. Yeah. What's your, okay. Yeah, honey, I got you. Did you measure your blood pressure in South Africa? With me, it was a huge difference. I had to take half my meds and stuff. Yeah, I did measure my blood pressure in South Africa, Bloedkop, despite the fact of being ill. When the chiropractor saw me on last Sunday, he took my blood pressure, and it was 134/87, which is high for me. But I'd had rooibos with caffeine that morning. I had some other caffeine, and I told him that when I have caffeine, it's a little elevated. Normally, it's about 118/58. Yeah, my pulse was 55. 55. What is ACC 600? What does that mean, Xavier? Bulawayo. All right. Gotcha. Bulawayo. Been to Bulawayo. Yep. Been to Matopos, where Cecil John Rhodes is buried. Yeah, you South Africans love home remedies, none of which work. Thank you for your offers. I appreciate that. It's not going to solve anything. Just make me feel better. Okay, what the heck is ACC 600? 114/82. That's an odd blood pressure there. High on one end, low on the other. The interview with Theo has finally convinced some of my family to apply for the program. Well, Stefan Tinnison, that wasn't my goal. My goal was just to simply bring people the truth. Wait till you hear the next interview. You're going to be even more excited. That will break in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Sewing says, thanks for what you're doing. Now proudly American. Have you seen and read the South African Health Charter? I don't recall. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I tried that effervescent stuff. That doesn't work. I tried that in South Africa. Didn't work. I'm sorry you're living a nomadic life. You want to be in Utah. Well, I can understand that, L. Utah's nice. Yeah, Wesley. I had that effervescent stuff. You drop it in water and it doesn't work. NAC in the USA, okay? And Bankston says, you talk so fast it's hard to understand. Really? I'm talking about 1/4 speed right now. Acetylcholine. All right, well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. But that doesn't really help me at the moment. I do appreciate the idea, though. So, all right. U.S. government has run a surplus in April, something they've not done in the past. Meanwhile, Kate McKenzie of the Patriotic Alliance, appearing in Port Elizabeth over the weekend, declares war on the African National Congress. Seriously? That's what News 24 says. McKenzie declared war on the ANC in the Eastern Cape, vowing to win every municipality in the 2026 elections. Really? Good luck with that, Sports, Arts, and Culture Minister. He said the PA did not want coalitions anymore, but justified his participation in the GNU. He said the PA were peace-loving people who want to work with everybody, but made xenophobic remarks. Today's a declaration of war. We are taking them in their own backyard. Today's a warning shot to tell them the Green Army have arrived in the Eastern Cape. Well, I'm not so sure that's going to work so well. Sean Lewis, I enjoyed your interview earlier. Afrikaner refugee moved to New Zealand 6 years ago. Best decision of my life. My family's safe. I'm glad to hear that, Sean. But I'm sorry that you've had to live under the fascist regime of Jacinda Ardern. Mr. Ed, one of the most vile, repulsive, socialist scumbags on the planet, who rubbished my plans to move to New Zealand because I will not live under fascists like that. I know she's gone because she's a coward. She was too afraid to stand for election because she was as popular as syphilis. Why is it so hard to buy stuff from South Africa and ship it to America? It seems no one uses PayPal, and you can't conduct transaction shipping. It's pretty expensive. What gives? I don't know what you're talking about, Tim Harper. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, buying and shipping to America? People do use PayPal in South Africa. I know because people have sent me money. They've given me super chats in the form of PayPal. So some South Africans do, in fact, use it. And PayPal was created in South Africa. So, or by South African, I should say. So I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Don't know. But PayPal is definitely something that people know how to use. There you go. Ooh, look at that. What's that? There's my PayPal. Why is it so big here all of a sudden? Just shrink that bad boy up. There you go. So, excuse me, if you would like to donate so that YouTube doesn't take its 30%, there you go. There you go. Kim's Kitchen. She can get you anything you need. There you go. Or you want old SADF collectible stuff. Oh, I have something old SADF collectible stuff. Okay, let me go get that. It was a gift. Hang on a second, folks. Don't run away. I forgot to bring it in this room. I'll be right back. Right back. Don't go anywhere. Am I talking too fast? Lentement. Je parle lentement en anglais. Je reviens après une minute. Attendez. Attendez. Let me tell you, this wasn't easy to get back to America. It was very frustrating to bring this back to America. I'm very grateful for the gift that was given to me. But the fact that I got it back here is a pure miracle. It won't fit in the suitcase. It could, but it would break most likely. This is very nice. All right, well, thank you, Dan. Please do that. You've got my number. All right, so this was a gift from someone in South Africa, and this was a burden. I'm grateful for it, but what a burden it was to get it back all the way from where it was given to me in Gauteng, carrying it around the country. This is Gauteng, I got it, carrying it around the country. And this is the gift I was given in South Africa. So speaking of South African Defense Force memorabilia, check that out. Defense Intelligence in Memoriam. That was not easy to bring back. It's thick, it's heavy. That is something else. Look at that. That's what was given to me in South Africa. Thank you for that gift. That bad boy is something else. But I had to bring that back and carry it, hand carry it all over the place. Who's talking about crypto? Stop it right there in your tracks. This is not a crypto channel. So there you go. Stop it or you'll be blocked. Okay. Yeah, Carlos, it's pretty cool, huh? Okay, so that's that was a gift. Now, this is something I gifted myself. I haven't shown this since the Varsity Cup final, which Ikeys beat Stellies, much to my dismay. There's my little friend from Stellies. Matties lost the game. There's a squirrel with a big bushy tail. Anyway, they lost. That was disappointing, but I picked that fella up when I was at Stellenbosch for the final. Yeah, it's like a steering wheel. Francois Vilken says, wow. This is not a shirt, it's a hoodie. You wanted tomates. Old metal coins, notes, have a few defense ones, sad because my ones didn't care to keep them. Ah, sorry to hear that. Thomas Stassen, good morning to you. Dougie Raymond. Yeah, people are not technologically able to determine the difference between scams, and real crypto trading. Exactly. So, here are the rugby jerseys I added this time. Fewer than my previous trips, but unique ones nonetheless. So first off, at Loftus, I picked up a Bulls jersey from the season, a road jersey, which has the beautiful side stripe on it there. It's lovely. Picked that up at the Bulls, so that one I picked up this time. So someone was moaning about a Bulls jersey a short while ago. There you go. There's a Bulls jersey. Picked that one up in South Africa. That's that one. Now, this one's a super cool one, and this is one that tinfoil night owls because it's night there. Ah, well, tinfoil Neanderthal, yes, you're catching on. You're catching on. So this one was picked up for me by CB. Thank you for this. This one is a special edition. It is a EPCR Challenge Cup. Special jersey, limited edition. My jersey is numbered number 326 out of just 500, right down here. 326 out of 500. And it is about the Challenge Cup final versus Gloucester on the 24th of May in London. And check out the back of this jersey, folks. You're going to love this. EPCR Champions 2024. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. So, only 500 of these were made, and I've got one of them custom made. Thank you so much for that, CB, for making that happen and for picking that up. Thank you so much. One of the highlights of my tour was collecting that shirt. And then this one is one I've wanted for so long. Apparently, the Griquas Rugby Union sent this personally to me. I think it was at the behest of CB, who mentioned that I wanted to cover them. She knows that I'm a big Griquas fan, and I've wanted a teal jersey forever. This was sent to Uppington, where I got it. A Griquas jersey with a teal and white, something I've wanted for a very long time. And now I have a Griquas jersey just in time for the Currie Cup this year. How cool is that? Really, really want it. Never had a Griquas jersey. Finally, I have a Pumas jersey now and a Griquas jersey. So the Pumas jersey is pretty cool, but it wasn't something high on my list, but it is cool to get. Also, to the South African lady who worked out the deal with me to meet Jimmy Stonehouse and the Pumas, my apologies, you had the wrong information, and you set that all up. I really am grateful. I will go to Nelspruit on my next trip to South Africa. If we're able to set that up again, that'd be fantastic. If you aren't able to do it, I have a friend who can do it. Thank you for that. Ons bloed is blau, says Chris Ehlers. We currently work in Papua New Guinea, sadly. Too white for South Africa. We can't return to South Africa. We had a horrific incident. We applied to South Embassy episode for. Well, when do you mean you've applied, Hester Joubert? When did you apply? No one applied before Monday, the 12th of May. Have you submitted a statement of interest since Monday, the 12th of May? If you haven't, then you haven't applied to anything. Please answer my question. I don't have a Dorikas shirt. I don't follow the UFC. What's the best place to get military surplus out there? I don't have an answer for that, Tim. You have to get that from one of my viewers. There you go. Surplus store in Pretoria West. There you go. Chris Ehlers is all over it. He knows Pretoria. Wishing you a fast recovery. I know you're tough, but you've been running yourself ragged, serving everyone else. Please take care. Yeah, you're right, Light Rain. I've put mission first and my personal welfare second. You're right about that. That crazy man has cancer. Oh, you're talking about Joe Biden. We're going to get to that. Yep. We're going to get to that. Applied on Monday. Do you think we'll have to return to South Africa? I suspect you will, Hester Joubert, because it's illegal for people to get refugee status from another country. You're going to have to go back, most likely. Tuneshane's off to work. Yep. So you're going to have to come back for the interview, and you better have a permanent residence in South Africa. You're going to run into a bit of a problem, because if you live permanently elsewhere, they're not going to give you refugee status. Statement of interest yesterday after your show from Mexico. Trump, temporary resident here, but don't speak Spanish and can't work legally. Still safe in South Africa. L. Angeline Fisher. Then, if you're not living permanently in Mexico, you don't have permanent residency there, then you should be able to qualify from South Africa. So, yes, Hester, but I mean, that's a very touchy area. The law doesn't allow for you to do that. However, as I've suggested to people, if you had to flee because you can't work in South Africa because of racism, bigotry, then put your statement of interest in, go do your interview, as long as you have an address in South Africa, and tell them the truth, and you're trying to get out, okay? Yeah, Professor G was on my broadcast when Thea was on, telling people who have H-2A visas not to go back to South Africa. He said it would undermine their claim that it's unsafe to be in South Africa. But I question his advice on that. I haven't heard back from him, because people with H-2A visas return to South Africa all the time and then come back to America. So I really don't understand how it would undermine their case. It's not like something has changed since they came here. It's been the case all along. If I'm in the U.S. and prosecuting a green card, can I still apply for refugee because I can get denied for a green card? Johan Peters say, I have no idea what your situation is. What's your basis for applying for a green card? Why are you applying for a green card? Why don't you have one already? And what are you doing in the States? I mean, at the risk of exposing yourself for being here illegally, I recommend you don't answer that question. I don't understand why you're applying for a green card. Where's the Sharks jersey? I just showed it, Real Wesley Smith. Were you not paying attention? Were you not paying attention? Oh, no. Do not overstay your H-2A visa. No, do not. If you overstay a visa, you're going to screw yourself from refugee status. If you have, you're married. Johan Peters say, I see what you're saying. You're currently residing in the States. You can't apply. You can't get it. Lynette, yes, I have Cheetahs jerseys. Thank you. I have a couple Cheetahs jerseys. Came in legally. What is it? Fiance? Are you applying for fiance green card? Is that a visa? Is that what you're looking at? You're asking for legal advice that I can't provide. I mean, I'm not an attorney here. I can tell you that the way the law is written, you cannot apply from abroad. You have to do this from South Africa, unless the law that is proposed by Troy Nels of Texas becomes law. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. So I don't know what they're going to do. No, Johan, look, I mean, fill it out. Put the statement of interest in there. If you got an address back in South Africa, do it. Okay. I mean, that'd be my recommendation. It doesn't affect your green card application. You're still married to someone that's an American citizen, so it doesn't affect that. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained would be my approach, Johan. That'd be my answer. I'm not an attorney, but that would be my answer. Yeah, that's what I would say. Again, I'm not an attorney, and I don't pretend to be one. I don't play one on television. Yep. I don't understand that form is just to express interest. It's also considered as applied. Well, yes, Timmy, there is no application. That is the application. You are expressing your interest. When you express your interest, then they'll contact you. When they contact you, you get interviewed, that's when you apply. Does that make sense? Okay. You're very welcome, Johan. I hope that's helpful. A lot of those legal questions can be asked with ChatGPT. I would not use ChatGPT. Garbage in, garbage out. '18 is an adult, Rebecca. 18-year-olds must apply on their own normally. Although I believe there's an 18-year-old went with the people that I interviewed tonight. I'm not certain that was her age when they applied or when they expressed their interest. Afrikaners in the U.S. don't go back to apply as a refugee, Professor G, my opinion 30 minutes ago. Well, fine, Denise. You can listen to him. I'm not going to refute an attorney. What I'm going to tell you is if you overstay your visa, you're going to fuck yourself right out of your refugee status. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's what I'm going to tell you. I've worked for the U.S. government. I've worked in embassies, and I know that people overstay their visa. It's not viewed positively. So I don't understand why he's giving that advice. He didn't answer that question when I raised it in the chat. Good Lord, Primal Boar, this is not a refugee session. You know that. I've answered this question over and over and over again. Yes, your foreign national wife will come with you if you qualify as a South African citizen. We do not break up nuclear families. Can I stop answering the same question over and over again? You've been here when I've answered that question. No, that's not true, Arctic. That's not true. No. If that's his wife, she'll be able to go. That's incorrect, Arctic. You're mistaken. No. Correct. You get a ban from the U.S. to overstay your visa. If you're banned, then you can't be granted refugee status. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what nationality your spouse is. If you qualify to become a refugee, your nuclear family, your head household can get it, okay? Yeah, these are dumbass questions, Wesley, and they're getting really annoying, especially when I've answered them 1,000 times. Back to the news. South Africa prepares for Ramaphosa's visit to the United States. Is Ramaphosa prepared? By the way, I heard from somebody that was on a flight tonight, and John Steenhuisen was on a commercial flight with him. So Cyril doesn't even take his ministers, his cabinet members on the plane with him? I didn't know that. That was interesting to hear. So the Minister of Agriculture apparently flew on a commercial flight tonight with someone else I know from South Africa. Isn't that interesting? Did not fly on the president's jet. South Africa's Ramaphosa prepares for crucial talks amid Trump Afrikaner concerns. Afrikaners who migrate to USA as refugees under the pretext of escaping genocide are less important on the agenda, which President Ramaphosa prepared his meeting. Well, first off, let me explain something very quickly to Bongani Hans. Bongani Hans, nobody is immigrating to America under the premise or pretext of genocide. That's bullcrap that you all talk about. And yes, Trump used the term to piss off the ANC, but nobody walked into their interview and said, I'm a victim of white genocide. That's a fantasy you leftist hate wankers are making up. No, they walked in and talked about the blood-curdling stories of how they were tortured, attacked, shot, stabbed in their homes because of their race. denied bursaries, denied jobs, had their companies stolen from them, forced to sell their companies because of their minority status. The laws written against them because of their skin color. That's what people talked about when they went to interviews. They didn't go, I'm a victim of white genocide. That is a leftist fantasy that you make up. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Sewing says, don't break any laws, you'll regret it. I don't know what the threat there is, Sewing. Why are you saying to people? Of course, if you break the law, you'll be prosecuted here. I don't think there's a need to tell anybody that. Stormers won. Tough game, but they won. All the South African sides won the final weekend. Lindy, why are you putting the text in from a social media post that Danny Barnard shared a day ago? Xavier says, a friend says, too scared to go back. Advice, go back. Strong feeling Cyril's going to receive the Zelensky treatment. I think he's going to get Zelensky as well. Is the 5 million gold card real? Well, first off, real is spelled R-E-A-L, and it's 5 million, not 5 millionen. You're speaking Afrikaans or Dutch there, Reinhard Kruger. Yes, it is real. Rich people can come to America in a heartbeat. It's always been real. There's investment green. Yes, there's always been investment green card options for the wealthy. Chris says the Bulls won. That's all I care about. Indeed. Indeed. So Justice Malala asked the question using the unflattering photograph of Donald Trump again. What does Trump want? Well, it will not be a rational meeting because nothing is rational about the assault on South Africa. The meeting's chances of ending in a détente are sort of slim. Well, first off, Justice Malala, he usually has decent things to say. You've got your head up your ass. The assault on South Africa? Are you fucking high? The assault on South Africa? No one's assaulted South Africa. This is bullshit. This whining from South Africans, you're going to get what you deserve. You've illegally participated in a go for 5 years, getting duty-free access to a market, despite the fact you abrogate private property rights with the introduction of expropriation without compensation into the parliament 5 years ago. You have no business in AGOA. You've been given things. You've been given gifts. Assault in South Africa? You've assaulted the United States national interest over and over and over. You've insulted our nation. You've called us racist. You sent slimy ambassadors to disparage our people. We don't call your people racist. We don't call South Africa a racist country, despite the fact there's rampant racism in South Africa. But you send ambassadors here to insult us. And then you replace them with special envoys who insult our president and call us racist as well. You are the transgressors here, Justice Malala. You, South Africa, are the ones responsible for this fractured relationship. It's not America. There's been no assault. What a bunch of pussies, a bunch of whiny, crybaby little pussies. Oh, the assault on South Africa. Donald Trump has been so brutal on South Africa. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm sick of your lies. And you, Justice Malala, a person who actually usually has her head screwed on straight, what the hell are you smoking? Are you being paid off by the administration now? Is the GNU told you to say these things? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stupid. The assault in South. What assault? What has been done to South Africa? Not a damn thing. You crybabies, put your nappies on, sit in the corner with your bink in your mouth, and shut up. Sick of this nonsense. Cyril is in big trouble, Sean. You're correct. Amazing how many hoops law-abiding people have to jump through. When I watch videos of 1,000 illegals pouring across the border, it's hard, but it's worth the burden. Yep. Elite says the tax rates for white people double. I don't know the statistic. I can't prove that. Natasha McGregor, good morning to you. Good morning, Martin Williams Bernard. It would be great if you could pull up highlight comments on the screen, lower third. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, RJ, because then I get racist comments, then I get trolls up there. I'm not putting the comments on the screen. I understand what you're talking about. I can do that. I intentionally decide not to do that. Yeah, the BS from Nancy is deliberate. 80, what's up? One piece of advice is don't tap people on the shoulder here or even touch someone's hat if they invite you to. What are you talking about? Anyway, Chris Mantia, welcome to you. Anyway, that's disgusting. When this is the photograph that a op-ed piece chooses to use, you know they're not legitimate. That's meant to disparage Trump. Well, Xavier Grayling, we need tax cuts. We also need government spending cuts. Well, speaking of dishonest, South African magistrates in trouble. Dirty, crooked magistrates. The Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development has recommended permanent removal of Magistrate Rennie Govinder and the suspension of Magistrate T.F. Kakana to the National Assembly. Concerned about $31 million that has been paid to suspended magistrates and the slow pace of resolving disciplinary cases. Yes, magistrates who are crooked and dirty, nothing happens to them. About time. Presenter at ECR Breakfast Show will be speaking to a professor from University of KZN after that article on a gentleman was outed saying USA under false pretenses. What are you talking about, Karen? Who is in the USA under false pretenses? No one's in the USA under false pretenses. Anyone makes such a claim as a lying sack of horse manure in South Africa. Are they part of the adjudication process? Did they make the determination for the United States? If not, they should shut their cake holes. Steve Newbold, welcome to you. Why is a KZN professor talking about a refugee in America? They're not part of the U.S. vetting process, so they can shut up and sit and twist for all I care. South African Farm Girl, boy, you're going to bed early. Good night to you. You're in the Midwest. You're at least an hour behind me. Must be getting up early to plow the fields. Saving the South African National Defense Force, Carl Nyhorst pens an op-ed that appears in the IOL. Interesting. So let's take a look at Carl Nyhorst's piece. On Thursday, May 15th, Nyhorst delivered a speech to the National Assembly during the debate on the midterm strategic defense review. Representing the economic freedom fighters, he addressed the dire crisis facing the South African National Defense Force, collapsing, threatening our sovereignty and safety. Not really. They're not threatening your sovereignty. Nobody is attacking South Africa. Your sovereignty is not at risk, Carl. That's a bit of hyperbole. And your safety? What safety has the SANDF provided to anybody? Nothing. They don't protect your borders. They were ineffective and inefficient when they responded to July 2021 riots. So he says it's all based on corruption. The review, grounded in 1996 white paper, 1998 2015 defense reviews, shows progress in African representation, in other words, black supremacy, rising from 38% of the force in 1994 to 76% today. Basically, eliminating whites, coloreds, and Indians from the defense force is what he considers progress. But he says a staggering 69% of the defense budget is consumed by salaries, far exceeding the 40% target. Well, that's because you underfund defense by 300%, you genius. Carl Niehaus. You should be spending 1.5% to 2% of GDP on defense. You're spending 0.7%. That's why salaries consume so much of the budget, because you've starved the defense force. It has nothing to do with corruption. Nothing to do with corruption. Good Lord. Carl Niehaus, you're mistaken. Fund the military properly and you won't have these problems. Yes, Heinrich Becker, John Steenhuisen, is a ANC cabinet minister. Masses remain in the mediocre darkness of ignorance, following black political parties like sheep who want to be slaughtered. Cyril and his crew are backing BE, won't go down well. Trump and their anti-DI, plus there's still the Israel case, not easy to explain away. All right. Been up since 3 o'clock. Yes, Americans have a sense of personal territorial imperative. Don't touch unless invited. Such pity, some Senate members still stuck in their seat. Yep, what a mess. I've talked about that, Xavier. No one else is talking about it. David Furry, welcome to. Jeremy says, push and be while the West rejects DEI. Cyril's team is out of sync. Exactly. All right, exactly. The gentleman who has an IT business Santon but tried farming from Hibberton on KZN Coast. Be interesting to see if they get the facts straight. I doubt they will, Karen. First off, they keep harping. They're committing fraud because they're not farmers. Hey, morons, they don't have to be farmers. No one ever said farmers were the people that were targeted. No one ever said that. Don't give me that Trump put a Truth Social post a month after his executive order. Didn't change the executive order. Executive order never once mentions the word farmer or white. Yet they continue to go on. Oh, this is a lie. They're not farmers. So what? It's not about being a farmer, you dumbasses. Stupid, stupid fake media. And if they're going to say that they committed fraud because they're not farmers, then they're morons. They're total morons. Expropriation on compensation. Cyril's team is stacking issues while the West turns against EI. Yeah, it's a tough sell, Jeremy. My stream last night didn't break any records. It was a big one. You say last night, you're talking about my yesterday afternoon one. Now it's yesterday afternoon. But thank you, it was big. I'll tell you the numbers on that if you're curious. Let me get over here to that. So we have 310 people here at this hour. Thank you for that. So that video has 49,700 views. It's taking off today, which is interesting. 949 views in the last 60 minutes. This might be one of the live streams that has a lot of legs after it's over. It was 41,000 when it ended. Now we're 49,792 plus subscribers, which is pretty good for a live stream, to say the least. So yeah, it's doing very well. I wouldn't say it's breaking all records, but I had, leaving on a jet plane, I had 49,000 people watch that one. So it is just now reaching that status. Hasn't quite passed it. I had 95 subscribers. So that one, yeah, that one was larger than this one, but not those who watched it, because that was, yeah, so that's two nearly 50,000 view live streams. So this one is just now going to pass that, but it has legs, so it'll be better. But the videos I prepared, many of them are much larger than that. I have a 400,000 view video. So let me take a look very quickly at Lifetime here. My eyes are bothering me at this hour. It's why I'm wearing the glasses. I'm really tired. Lifetime now. I'm at 18 million views, by the way, folks. 18,007,430 views. On December 31st, we had 3.4 million. So since that time, we've had 14.4 million views. That's amazing. Yep, absolutely amazing. So I have a 439,000 view video, 225,000 view video, 215,000 view video, 185, 163, 156, and all top 10 of my videos now have at least 128,000 views. It's pretty cool. Thank you for that. Very excited about that. Also on the subscriber front, we're inching up towards that 100,000 mark. We're trying to push against it. Very good day on Sunday, an unusual day to pick up a lot of subscribers, but I went from 86,013, basically 86,000 to 87,585. And that number still counts whatever comes in for the next couple hours, because the time for this is based off of California, which is 3 hours behind me. So it's only 9:18 there. So I've got almost 3 more hours to increase that. So looks like we've got about 1,572. So that's a great day, great game. So hopefully that keeps going, and it's getting us closer to that 100,000 mark. Criticizing it becomes treason. How do you think that will play out, and how would you project the fallout? Well, I project civil war should that happen. Yep, I project civil war. Steampunk. Who's talking about steampunk? We need to watch your channel. Visit the U.S. Embassy website before commenting. So blessed to have found your channel. Thank you, Caroline. Only person giving fair, truthful commentary. Yeah, well, thank you for that. Steampunk. Chris, I was curious. Do you know what the refugees were allowed to take with them? Yes, I do. 2 bags of 23 kg. That's it. My day as LT, the troops were served first before ourselves. Yeah, same here. What's that story got to do with anything? Oh, got you. We're talking about the standoff. Monique Skeppers just subscribed. Thank you for that. I've heard that story, Steve. Well, you're right, Chris. You need to get actual soldiers, but that you can have anybody turn into a soldier if you've got correct cadres in place. Hey, Peter Pumpkin Eater, take care. Oh, Arctic answered my question. 2 bags, 23 kg. Well, that depends. If you wind up in United, come here on commercial flight, you get 1 bag of 23 kg. Good luck with that. What can Cyril even say to fix this? Yes, nothing. I don't think he can fix it. I don't think he can fix it. There are many South Africans waiting to see if Cyril will change course. I highly doubt it, and I also think that the rand will sink to 30 rand to the dollar should Cyril screw this up. Once the colonel says, oh, you're talking about the too many South Africans, non-Afrikaner South Africans, farmer is a Boer. They think all Afrikaners are Boers. Yep. Once the colonel has a staff like Fox News, who we can worry about the bells and whistles like pretty girls to brush his beard, bring beverages, and make flashy multi-screen promos. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Are there any options regarding what areas U.S. we would be able to find? We have some choice. What's with all the refugee questions? It's not a refugee stream. answered this question a million times. Your options are to tell them where you'd like to go. You'll go where they send you. Neither of the two groups of refugees I've interviewed went to the place they asked to go. Both are thrilled with where they wound up at. Dan Bailey, please text me the list, okay? Yes, this could be a huge week for South Africa's history. Steve Bold says, what a time. What a time it was. Oh, man, that's you got me doing that now. Let's do what a time it was. Oh, yeah. Now you got me back. Is Elle still here from Rhodesia? What a time it was. You got me in a Rhodesia mood now. Yeah. What a time it was.
Make your browser fast.
Yeah, I don't care about making my browser best. I don't want adverts. There we go. There you go, folks. Rhodesia. What a time it was. Yep, there you go, Steve Newbold. We mocked an extreme Stormer supporter at a final we viewed from a pub, and he got upset. He pulled the biggest revolver I've ever seen, swinging it from... That's just crazy, Will. Yeah, I don't own that person as a Stormer supporter. Everything's happening in South Africa is because the borders became less relevant, and he's swamped. Well, that's part of it. All right, who else we got here? Thank you for your interview with Thea last night. You're welcome, Steve. On the SANDF budget, this may be very sensitive. Apparently, quite a few percentage are HIV positive. That's true. At one time, one battalion had 75% HIV positive, and the other was 78% HIV positive for the South African infantry battalions back in 2005. Don't know the current status. Sierra's going to spin a story when Trump says no. Sierra will run home and call Trump all the names he can come up with. At least Jan van Riebeck should have the week off as Trump takes the blame. That's right. Steampunk. Chris, I need to thank you for all the reporting you've done and how much info you provide helping us wade through what is truth. And it's been nice to see some truth for once. Well, I've been saying it for 5 years. You've just discovered me. Thank you. As Tracy Downey's just done. Thank you for your subscription. Sierra's going to flounder. He has no excuses. Yep. If Starmer can completely flip on inviting invaders, who knows what will happen? Good point, Light Rain. Chris, you need to get hold of Rex Tar Chilapalapa. Okay? Tragedy South Africa is not its history of division, but its unwillingness to stop dividing. Good point, Terry. Apparently a Nigerian pastor got off 30 counts of alleged rape. Yeah, he was sent back to Nigeria. Cyril's pleading his case, says the U.S. should leave South Africa alone. Well, the U.S. has done nothing to South Africa. We've left it alone. That's why it's such a mess. Cyril, be careful what you ask for. The reason your country is in the cock is because we've ignored South Africa and let you lead it into ruination. Johan Nel, Crystal Clota. Yes, the ANC has really screwed the pooch with that stupid letter. They're a bunch of morons. They actually think that that's going to convince anyone other than their dwindling voter base. It's not going to. Lelu, good morning. Yes, Will, that's the numbers. They actually published it publicly, and then they were remonstrated for doing it, and they hid the numbers after that. I think the BE laws will be discussed at Wednesday's meeting. Yep. Mike Weston, hello to you. Feels like pride before the fall. Yep, that's right, pride before the fall. Wonder if Starlink will be allowed. I doubt it. Denial is real. Good morning, Garrett. All I know is now they will blame Trump and the USA for everything going wrong. Well, they've already blamed Trump. Your view on the Namibian news saying Trump is running scared because of the new president, what she's doing. Also throwing out 500 Americans supposedly overstaying visas. Two things. Nambia? Where's Nambia at? Legal alien. Nambia? Kofifa? Running scared? Who's the president? You mean the stolen election in Namibia? That woman from SWAPO? I really don't think that Trump even gives a flying flip about the running scared from Namibia. Please. 500 Americans overstayed their visas? Really? Who would stay in Namibia overstaying their visa? That just doesn't make any sense. 500 Americans. Scared of the new Namibian president? I haven't looked at Namibian news in a while. Let's do that. Let's go to the Namibian. The Namibian. Let's go look at what they've got to say. I haven't looked at that in a while. South Africa not opposed to Paris for crucial talks. I don't see anything here saying she's afraid of Namibia. What kind of moron comes up with that? What newspaper came up with that? Mass probability of collapse of the cancer is the walkover to MK. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's a down. Legal alien, you mean Namibia. Namibia. You're missing the joke. Trump had a tweet that was mistyped and people said he made fun of Africa. He didn't. Maybe lady is not male and thus gets ignored. Do I know Morne Bota? No, I don't think so, Johan. Who's Morne Bota? Hello, Ruvani Fribus. Welcome back. There's an OG. Yeah, so blame those who are leaving those that stayed. Yeah, exactly. Africans, sarcastic with no sense of humor, can't listen to shit. You guys are killing me tonight, folks. You're killing me. All right, back to the news. Back to the news. Kanana Hunter is at it spewing her racist tinged commentary again. Musk grok malfunction exposed Saudis' weakness in technopolar world. Kanana Hunter. Yes. The AI chatbot created by X, owned by South African-born Elon Musk, malfunctioned, began spinning disinformation about his so-called white genocide, regardless of the question that was asked. A fabricated narrative. Blatantly false claims about a white genocide supposedly happening in South Africa. Well, I've never claimed there's white genocide, but with all these denials, one can't help but wonder if we're on the verge of an actual genocide in South Africa. Kanana Hunter says the most vile, race-hustling things you can imagine. The Grok episode is not just a glitch, nor was it merely ongoing troubling efforts. It was a calculated assault on South Africa's sovereignty. Are you really that stupid, Kanana Hunter? Are you really that stupid? Really? I'm sorry. Why aren't you reporting about the magistrates? Why aren't you reporting about Louis Liebenberg? Why aren't you reporting about Jacob Zuma escaping the rule of law? Zweli Mkhize, the digital vibe scandal, crimes committed, Pala Pala. Kanana Hunter, can't you find something useful to do with your time instead of being race hustling all the time? Your reporting is repulsive, actually. It's not reporting, it's your asinine opinions, which are full of feces. So, Kanana Hunter, clear signal that we're entering an area in big tech could eclipse democracy, and we're woefully prepared. What democracy? You don't have a democracy in South Africa. Nobody votes for your political leaders. You vote for a party list that's corrupt as the day is long. What democracy is that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Kanana Hunter? How much does the ANC pay you to write this shit? Is it a lot? Or does Koos Becker pick up the entire tab? The Trumpian drama is, to some extent, less sinister than what we saw in the Grok malfunction. Experts like Ian Bremmer of the Eurasia Group have long warned about the rise. Okay, Ian Bremmer is an opinionated asshat who funds himself because he's got money. The Eurasia Group, spare me. Oh my goodness. Wow. AI was manipulated by human instruction to sow disinformation about South Africa. This wasn't a glitch, it was active coercion. Our democracy is not safe. No, it's not, from propagandists like you, Kanana Hunter, who spread lies and race hate. No, it's not safe, Kanana Hunter. You're right. The likes of you and your ilk are why your democracy is at risk. Traditional print lying media. There's no genocide in the movie. What are you talking about, Natasha? 8 of the 10 phases of genocide already achieved. Do we wait till people are slaughtered before we say we're on the verge of a genocide? Then it won't happen. Natasha, what are you talking about? What won't happen? Yeah. Namibia exports uranium. What about it? Yeah, Ukraine tried to hide behind their sovereignty. Look what happened for them. Yep. You're making a statement. Okay, gotcha. What's Ramaphosa's agenda? Well, he's trying to ostensibly stop a 31% set of tariffs to be applied in South Africa and repair a relationship that he and the ANC broke. But if they start to blame it on Trump, they're going to lose big time. Let me see if I can't find those slides I put together on that some time ago over here. So, documents, South Africa group. Okay, I think it was in here. Let me go back and find those documents. Is that where it's at? It's close. Hang on. Come on. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. Just before that. Come on. I thought I had it there a moment ago. All these slides where they betrayed America and worked against our interests, and they claim that they've done nothing to harm America, that we're responsible for the breach. It's not us. Not us. Still haven't found it. I thought I had it handy there. I'm not seeing it yet. Come on. Where the hell are you hiding at? There it is. Okay, so here we go. Let me just put this in context for everybody, okay? So I'm going to run through these slides. Well, that's not what I want. I want this over here. That's what I want over there. Okay, bring that back here. Right, put that on that screen. We're going to go full screen, and I want to go, okay, is it the direction? Okay, that's the correct direction. Okay, so I'm going to run through what's at stake here with Ramaphosa, and then why there's a problem with the U.S. And it's just a small smattering of what's going on here, folks. But check out this screen as I bring it up. So, South Africa needs the U.S. We help them, the G20, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and other fora. Annual $20 billion in trade, 5% of South Africa's GDP. We're the second largest trading partner, but most valuable trading partner with which you have a trade surplus, unlike China where you run a big deficit. You have duty-free access to U.S. via GOA, $3 billion a year. USA buys $430 million in South African mineral exports, has 4% of your total mineral exports. From 2003 to 2025, we donate $8.1 billion to fight HIV/AIDS, and we give $500 million annually in foreign aid. Well, the foreign aid is gone now. These are the things that South Africa has done acting against U.S. interests. Imposed a 75% tariff on U.S. poultry imports, abstained and refused to condemn the Russian invasion. Ramaphosa's lie about vaccine apartheid, slandering America. Cozy with designated terror group Hamas. They refused to condemn Hamas's 7 October attack. Now Lady Pandor even called and congratulated them. Blamed Israel for Hamas's terror attack. Now we know, well, I suspected all along, it was done to scupper the Abraham Accords from documents found amongst the Hamas headquarters. They hosted sanctioned Russian cargo ship Lady R, ignored polite, discreet diplomatic requests explaining why. They blew us off. The naval exercise with Chinese communists and Russia, Operation Mosi in February 2023, anti-American ties with Moscow, Beijing, and Havana, actively trying to undermine U.S. with BRICS currency. Ramaphosa's populist attacks on Trump in 2018. They joined with 83 other states attacking the United States over Trump's sanctions on the International Criminal Court in February this year. They refused to sign Article 98 waiver for the Rome Statute, protecting our soldiers, demanding Taipei close its diplomatic mission, acting against U.S. friends, partners, and allies. They violated the Vienna Convention, charging diplomatic aircraft fees from the airports company in South Africa for U.S. military and diplomatic aircraft. They're a money laundering and terror financing gray-listed country. They've authorized the United States sanctioned Russian military cargo airplane to land at the South African Air Force Base, and they recruited former U.S. NATO and pilots to train People's Liberation Army at the Test Flying Academy, South Africa, as well as participate in a CCP-funded political training school in Tanzania to teach authoritarian ideology. Contrary to Ramaphosa's lies, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This predates Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump. These people are so full of crap, their eyes are brown. Where's the bunny? The bunny's right here, Chris. No, but remember, USA needs us for our minerals. Yes, we need you for minerals, not. Yes, Martin, Cockprot 24 is the laughing circus of South Africa. Andre, we do a lot more than help with education in Namibia. Let's go to U.S. foreign aid to Namibia. Okay, 2023, most recent year. Okay. Let's take a look. $47 million in 2024. Almost $48 million. Hunter Erasmus, thank you for subscription. Yeah, reducing HIV vulnerability, dreams, activity, key population strength and technical assistance, scaling up access for voluntary medical, global health supply chain, adherence and retention program, USAID pay and benefits, Project Hope, church and faith-based something. That's a partner, sorry. Yeah, health and population, $24 million. What's the other ones here? It's not letting me across there. Anyway, we do a lot. Excuse me. We do a lot in Namibia. So it's not a lot of money, though, $45 million a year. So there you go. Obligations, disbursements, that's what I want to see. Okay. What's the Army spend? Almost nothing. Well, nothing listed there. Huh. I think that's incomplete. Anyway. Yeah, they're comics. No, I didn't take any negativity from it, Andre. Sean, sorry I didn't get to meet you. I didn't know about the Hermanus meet and greet. Well, we had one in Stanford after the Hermanus one there, Sean. Did you not know about that one as well? What are the odds President Trump will suspend the program after his meeting with Ramaphosa? Very low. Thank you, Chess Pains, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Very low. Marius, good morning. It's on Wednesday. Wednesday, Ravani. Wednesday. Yeah, please hit the like button. I know it. Both the Encyclopedia DSF was only came closest. I have no idea what you're talking about there. First thing Trump must ask. Whoa, that jumped. Explain the White Cross Monument, the fact that only in this time he granted refugee status. Think another 3 or 4 farm murders. Yep. If they mess the meeting up, they won't be able to borrow money. Well, the World Bank's major contributor and biggest vote holder is the United States. So, yeah, if they piss Trump off, they're not getting any money from the World Bank. We'll scupper anything they want. And they don't understand that. Same with the IMF. Isaac Duplessis is talking to someone that went this morning. Really? Okay, well. Isaac is fair. Surprised it didn't come to me. That's his prerogative. Yes, don't forget the renaming of Santon Drive. Yep, that's another one. Terry says AI gives you different answers there. Little Miss Know-It-All, how's it going? Can you get the bunny to Trump? Pierre Rousseau, welcome to you. This meeting with Trump, my life as a marginalized color will change. Well, Charles Boyson, if you fill out a statement of interest and you come to America, I think your life will change for dramatically better. Not telling you should do it, just saying that that's how it'll play out. Suddenly, me brain profiling. Yes, it is late here. Andre, I know there's a lot you didn't mention. I covered Namibia extensively, but I haven't been covering it lately because it's been all South Africa. Thank you for your input, Andre. I do appreciate it. Lunatics have come out in force, says Chess Pains. They have, and they lie and lie and lie. My friends have a 9-year list to run for the border. America can make any country the breadbasket of Africa, and they can make any country in Africa a failed state. Are you in Red Bull or Monster Dragon? None of the above. I don't know what you're talking about deporting. Regarding refugee program for Afrikaners, what work you do if you're in America? Oh, good God. What planet are you on? Tola 007. Where would you get such a stupid idea that you're only allowed to do certain things? Where would you get that from? Obviously, you don't know what a refugee is. A refugee is just a protected status. Why would you be limited in what work you can do? That doesn't make any sense. I don't even understand the question at all. I don't understand your question. No, you're not limited. You can do what the hell you want. Start a business, start the next PayPal. We don't give a flying flip. Do what you want. As long as it's legal, there are no restrictions. You have the same protections as an American citizen. The only thing you can't do is vote. Ramaphosa, Malema wants to stay in America? What? No farm murders. That's in 2018 he said that. Good afternoon from Brisbane. I'm so excited to hear Trump meet Ramaphosa. Maybe we should ask Ramaphosa why hundreds of thousands have already left. Maybe he should ask Ramaphosa why 750,000 South Africans have been murdered under the ANC. Only 2,500 were murdered during the entire apartheid regime. 750,000 South Africans have been murdered since the ANC took over. All right, Xavier, take care. Odin's Vikings, welcome to you. I'm not sure where you guys are going with that. Anyway, congratulations to South African sides, which have done very well in the URC, even though my Stormers came in 5th place. We've got 3 in the top 5. South Africa's URC showing bodes well for a repeat of the 2021 title. Well, it's going to have to be up to the Bulls, I think. So there's the 2022 champions. That's my Stormers lifting the first URC trophy ever at DHL Greenpoint Stadium. The SA Quartet have achieved their best finish as a collective to any URC league season so far. Latest romp by the Bulls meant they have notched 24 tries in the last 3 fixtures at Loftus. Scary for Edinburgh, who's coming to town. Stormers have a stiffer quarterfinal hurdle in faraway Glasgow. Sharks are at home. Yep. Last time South Africa ended the United Rugby Championship League roster with 3 teams perched majestically in the top 5. The trophy soon followed to our shores. Give the Stormers. There you go. 3 more this time. South African sides consistently keep putting people into the playoffs. Wow. Bulls, Sharks at home while Stormers travel to Scotstoun. There you go. The Bulls put on an epic performance to honor the passing of Cornell Hendricks. Wow. So here's the quarterfinal playoffs. Glasgow versus the Stormers, the 30th of May. I'll be covering that game from here. Bulls versus Edinburgh on Saturday 31st. Leinster versus Scarlets, and Sharks versus Munster. So a game in Scotland, 1 in Ireland, and 2 in South Africa in the quarterfinals. The Bulls guaranteed a home semifinal should they win. There you go. Fascinating stuff, eh? So the Stormers. So the good news is we don't eliminate any South African sides because of where the Stormers finished and where the Sharks moved up to 3rd place instead of 4th place. So that prevented 2 South African sides from knocking each other out. So we're not guaranteed of anything, but the chances are very good that we could have 3 South African sides in the semifinal. Can you imagine that, folks? If the Stormers can win on the road, the Bulls win at home, and the Sharks win at home, that means that 3 of the 4 teams in the semifinals will be South African. Won't that be epic? My goodness. From New Zealand, just say South Africa until you know what it's like. You cannot comprehend freedom. Joel Pollack should go live in Israel if he loves them so much. Go live in Israel. Okay. Hey, Jonathan. Whatever. You will get feedback from me, Charles. If there's a press conference, I intend to cover it live on Wednesday. I'm waiting for that. Tuesday, if anything happens, I'm out of the mix. From 5 a.m. till 11:30 at night, I will be doing my judge duties as an election is here. We have an election on Tuesday. Leinster is good though. Yeah, but Leinster plays the Scarlets. They're going to beat the Scarlets, and that means they'll get in a semifinal. The Bulls should beat Edinburgh at home. The Sharks should beat Munster. The Glasgow versus Stormers is the one I'm worried about, but the Stormers have been better than Glasgow of late, so hopefully they can win on the road. Steve Newbold, Jonathan is very anti-Jewish, very anti-Israel. He borders on the commentary of anti-Semitic, but stays just short of that. So we've come to expect that from Jonathan. He hates Israel. Amangita crowned African kings for the first time after beating Morocco in the Under-20 African Confederation final. Yes. Ole, ole, ole. The South African under-20 men's team are finally the kings of African football after winning the African Youth Championship in Egypt Sunday night. They beat Morocco 1-0. And who cares? Soccer, boring. Well, in a shocking turnout, one wonders if corruption was involved. Was this a rigged election? The centrist, the pro-Euro clown, wins the election in Romania. Pro-European candidate Nicur Dan has won Romania's closely watched presidential runoff against a hard-right nationalist. Nearly complete electoral data shows. Huge turnout played a big role. 30-year-old leader of the hard-right Alliance, the Union of Romanians, against Dan, the incumbent mayor of Bucharest, months after the cancellation of the previous election. After 10.7 million votes were counted, Dan was ahead with 54%. In the first round, Simeon won almost double the votes as Dan, as many local surveys predicted he would secure the presidency. But in a swing that appeared to be a repudiation of his more skeptical approach to EU, Romania joined in 2007. Dan picked up almost 900,000 more votes to solidly defeat his opponent in the final round, which raises all sorts of questions. How is such a thing even remotely possible? Don't worry, we will soon have some. Okay, Peter Liebenberg, welcome to you. Rather watch test crickets Israel. Kobe says, what do you say about Professor G's explanation about genocide claim as per law and intent and action? I don't have anything to say. I haven't heard what he said, so I can't comment on that. Good morning, Jonathan Janssen from Ensborg. Keith Norkia, good morning. I see on our community group that protests are starting on the N12, Deep Kloof. Okay? Chills to practice rounders in South Africa. Good morning, Orlia Anderson. Driki, Robert say, it's so sad that we have to leave our beautiful land, or rather, what is left of it. It's true, what's left. Joe Biden has been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. Comes months after the demented lunatic left office. Former President Joe Demented Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer months after he left office. He received his diagnosis with metastatic to the bone after he was experiencing increasing urinary symptoms. It's a more aggressive form of disease. Cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management. The 82-year-old left office in January. President Trump wrote in Truth Social, Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family. Wish Joe a fast and successful recovery. His form of prostate cancer is aggressive in late stage, but prostate cancers generally are slower growing. The overall chance that a person diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer is alive after 5 years is around 37%. In February of last year, Biden was fit for duty according to his fraudulent Walter Reed National Medical Assessment. Yeah, so they lied about Biden over and over again. Now we know. The Her recordings tell us about Biden's memory decline. Newly obtained audio shows the former president speaking in a low voice and struggling for words because he's demented. Former President Joe Biden can be heard at times speaking with a frail voice and struggling for the right words, and dates and newly obtained audio recordings of his October 2023 interviews with special counsel Robert Hur. Interviews took place over the course of 2 days, and they refused to make them public, covering Joe Biden, nearly leading to him getting reelected. Many state universities are losing students every year, failing the local economies they once fostered. Well, education is no longer the gravy train that once was. The Wall Street Journal says Western Illinois University, an empty dorm once held 800 students, is now a police training ground. Nearby dorms have raised for 2 weedy fields. 2 more dorms are set to close this summer. Frat housing homes once filled with students' renders are empty lots. Yep, it's like you're watching a town die. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you teach people to be idiots. We're down to bare bones. Western Illinois Leathernecks. The campus is dying off. Wall Street Journal analysis of 748 public 4-year universities and colleges in 50 states shows that full and part-time enrollment in most prominent state universities increased 9%. So what's the problem? Education enrollment reached almost 12 million in 2010. It's down to just over 10 million per year. Maybe people are waking up. The universities are not the path to progress and success at all. 2 of the world's largest credit card companies just merged. The disappearance of Discovery Card is disturbing. Capital One Financial Corporation completed its acquisition of Discover Financial Services. The deal was announced in February, valued at $35.5 billion. Why can the Securities Exchange Commission and the Federal Trade Commission allow such a massive merger to occur? Wow. All stock transaction. So Discover's gone. Discover card. Were they going to make it go away or is it going to stay? U.S. drillers claim that we've reached peak shale oil. That's interesting. I think they're lying. Lower oil price expect precipitated decrease in crude output that won't easily be reversed. Drillers made U.S. the world's top oil producers say they're hitting the brakes to weather a period of low prices and the gusher that is likely peaked. Some of the largest producers recently told investors they would be spending less this year and plan to drop rigs. Interesting. So it's going to be the end of peak oil, shale oil, because oil's too cheap. Linda Gordon says hello from Nevada. Whereabouts? Elko? Reno? Vegas? Where are you from? What is your exasperation between Trump and Ramaphosa? My exasperation? I'm not exasperated. Yeah, they knew his Biden was sick when he was in office. Exactly. Jonathan needs coffee. Who is Sam? Sam Ismail is a Jew. Pollock would naturally support Israel. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that, Sam. Did I say anything was wrong with that? I didn't say anything was wrong with that. What are you talking about? Colonel, are you coming to Nullsprut? Heinrich Canada. I'm in Pennsylvania. No. Next trip. No, I've not been given a 629-page document, Sean, that I'm aware of. It is getting cold in South Africa. Yep. Orley Anderson said, we missed you. Where'd you miss me at? The WNBA is turning the incident, which was simply a basketball play and an intentional foul, into a racial incident. This is the WNBA, a bunch of racists and lesbians who piss off the world. The Fever and Sky met on opening weekend of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark called for a foul on Angel Reese. I saw the foul. It was a basketball play. It was intentional, but it wasn't malicious. But they're turning into that. Yep. Sources have told the Indianapolis Star the investigation is based around racist comments directed towards Reese from a member or members of the crowd, although they're not believed to have been directly related to the incident. On Sunday, WNBA said it's looking into the matter without going into specifics. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or society. We're aware of the allegations, except that's not what the WNBA does. Racist black players physically assaulted Caitlin Clark numerous times last year. They don't find racism abhorrent. They had no problem with racist black WNBA players physically assaulting Caitlin Clark on the court last year. Their top money draw, their top attraction to their boring lesbian league. And she was assaulted repeatedly, and no action was taken against these players for the racism. But apparently they have issues with fans in the stands calling Angel Reese names. A manufactured crisis, a manufactured racist crisis, once again. Clark is white, Reese is black, and there have been racist, misogynist abuse online around the relationship. Yes, whatever. I'm sick of the WNBA. They're nonsense. Yeah, Cyril's trying to sell a narrative, but it ain't going to happen. Morning, Chris. Thanks for last night's stream. It was so helpful. You're very welcome. The Lesbian League. Yep. Sure, a handful of people watch it are in a tizzy. Yes, I watch it, Light Rain, but I'm not in a tizzy. Sean says, would you like it? Would I like the document? I don't have a need for it. If you want to send it, that's fine. It's done more for WNBA than the whole league did in its entire existence. You're correct. And they allowed black women to racially assault her last year, and they said nothing about it. As soon as she fouls Angel Reese, there's allegations of racism. Not directed against her, but in that game. What a bunch of nonsense. What an absolute bunch of nonsense. All right, folks, it's time for my video to premiere in just a couple minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in, and watch my video that's going to come up in a second. Let me see if I can direct you there. This cough is really painful here. It wasn't like this in the first version. Let me see if I can't get you to redirect to that. If it'll let me do that. Customization, redirect, add. There it is. I can do it. Cool. All right, so you're going to be redirected automatically to the interview that starts at the top of the hour. There's a 2-minute countdown, so don't run off. This is an interview with another couple who are refugees in America. All right. Thanks, folks. Please watch it. And thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. We only get 280 likes here, but 2,000 people tune in. That's disappointing. Thank you so much, folks. Cheers.